So some of you guys have requested that I share with you some of our Christmas, the kids opening the gifts and stuff like that. So I was like, why don't I just share the whole day with you? So we'll see how that goes if I remember to film and miss all the cooking and cleaning and guests.
Christmas.
Dinosaur!
Christmas Eve.
Dinosaur!
One present.
Dinosaur!
Wow!
Dinosaur wood!
Oh my goodness!
My turn. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome,
you're welcome,
Eli.
sweetheart.
My
The
turn.
dinosaur eggs.
Timmy's turn.
Park. Okay.
Open it. No, just Is it peeling? Open it. Help me.
Okay.
Open this present.
There you go.
Plastic roll. Where's the T-Rex? I don't want to be It's clothes.
But what kind of clothes?
Oh my God!
What did you get?
A Dollar Fam hoodie.
A Dora Fam hoodie? Oh, that's gonna look so good on you. Hold it up.
Use your arms, dude.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see your face. Let's see how cute you'll look in that. Oh, looks good on you.
Can we do one last present?
Can we do what?
One last present.
One last present. We do.
Whoa.
You guys are
We
gonna
can
get to
do-
do all of them tomorrow.
We can do one more present.
One more
if you
present?
want.
I thought Eddie was showing.
Okay, down
I want.
sings.
I want.
Is that to help you with your schoolwork?
Oh yeah.
Bones and the apple pie mystery. Timothy, Grandma thought you'd enjoy this mystery book. Also, please read it to Eli. Level 3 young readers.
Oh my God.
That looks cool. It's got a dog in there.
You love dogs.
dog I bought.
Maybe a yesterday and two today. Oh look! Oh look!
It's
It's a dino egg.
Ew! It's slimy!
What the heck?
Yucky! Ew! Gross!
Oh.
Ew! Look at that slimy egg. Is there a baby dino in here?
Yeah.
I suppose you want me to open it. Ew! Ew! Ah!
A dinosaur.
Oh my gosh, who thought of this idea? Yo, gross. Ew, I just sneezed. Yeah. Okay, let's open this. Let's see what dino we got.
What is it?
What kind of dinosaur is it?
Tyrannosaurus.
Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Imagine Dragons again.
Yep, another CD. I think that's their new one.
Ooh, sure left gnome.
That looks like a fun movie.
Thank you, Grandma. Pretty. Oh, look, it's from Lucerne, Minnesota.
Oh God, it's here. Let's go.
It's like a Santa bear. Aw, Timmy, it's a little drummer boy, Santa bear, sitting on the. Cute. 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 A heated shiatsu massager. You got a camping set. Amazing.
Here, over here. I'll help you. Mommy's got the camera. Let's turn around. That's the butter knife.
Hey guys, I can go.
We're gonna annoy everyone in the household?
Just mom.
Yeah.
Filming
Oh.
video.
Yep. Whoa! Look at your little camper.
Thank you, Mommy's the best.
What'd you get? What do you like so much?
I love this.
Video game jammy bottom. That's from Rachel and Bert and Eric.
Are they walkies? Or what is it?
Oh. This is
Walkies,
unique.
talkies.
Look at Star Wars. Look at Star Wars jammy.
Ooh, it's Grogu.
Oh, and look, Baby Yoda.
Technically, Grogu.
Oh, look at what's on there.
It's a haul right there.
Oh, some new sweatpants. Nice.
Or like Christmas gifts for mom and dad.
Jimmy's gonna look nice.
Cool.
Jimmy's got a cool
Let's see that one.
gaming shirt.
I'm in control. Holy moly.
What's it say?
My hand.
Ooh, some new sock pants. You needed these. You needed these for sure. Oh my gosh. Extreme gaming. And look at your favorite color.
Because you're a champion.
Look at what you got from Anna. These are yours. Ooh, pure shortbread cookies. Oh, that's perfect.
Pretty. So this is to Katherine and Rob. I'm sure you'll enjoy this Christmas. Don and Arlene. Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire, Erling Berlin's Holiday Inn.
Oh, and look at the one Timmy got. The dog's eyes has one blue eye and one hazel eye. You see the dog?
Yep.
Open it.
Timmy got it.
Oh my god.
Oh, a race car track. What? Eli, what? What? I think Timmy was a little more excited than you. Are you going to play together?
Oh yeah.
perfect track. So we opened presents, and then we made breakfast. Rob made himself some kind of meat and egg thing, and I think I still have smoothie on my face. I made a big pitcher of smoothie with dates and oranges and kiwi and strawberries, and I shared that with the boys, and then I also made them some vegetarian breakfast patties. Now I'm gonna start making some of the Christmas food. I'm gonna start peeling potatoes for the garlic mashed potatoes. So besides the mashed potatoes, well, I'm boiling potatoes. I want to make sweet potatoes too. I usually make like a sweet potato mash. So I boil these and then I put them in like a food processor to blend them up with some dates or coconut sugar to make it sweet. I don't have any vegan marshmallows. I don't usually use them anyway, but I don't know, maybe I'll have them on the side for some people who want marshmallows melted in, but yeah. Nothing much healthier than a sweet potato. So what do we have here?
I'm pan searing a roast. This is actually a sirloin roast instead of a chuck roast. So we'll see, hopefully it'll turn out good in the pot. And next step, over to the crock pot.
So how is this different than a regular pot roast?
Well,
like what seasonings are you doing differently?
Yeah, it's not that much. I mean, a lot of people make pot roast in different ways. Typical way, I think, is chuck roast, beef broth, salt and pepper, carrots, onions, celery, potatoes, and then throw it all in there. This time around, I decided to add a little dry onion soup mix in with the beef broth, and I added a little 4 bay leaves. And now I'm going to put some rosemary on the top and just let that all kind of simmer through for the next 8 hours.
I got both kinds of potatoes going, and I'm going to do a quick workout before we clean the house and prepare the rest of the food for the guests. Just got out of the shower. I've got my little face mask on. I got the hydrating mask on the dry parts and the clay mask on the oily parts. And I'm about to make myself some lunch, which is like 3 cups of pineapple and 3.5 banana smoothie. And I'm gonna warm up some fettuccine Alfredo for the boys, and Rob is on his own because it's probably involving some kind of meat, something or other, so I'll stay away from that. Good tip though for anyone who has a major sweet tooth, because that was me, and I could easily on Thanksgiving or Christmas find myself having 5 or 6 desserts, plus cookies and more and pie, whatever. But when you have enough fruit to start your day, you don't crave those sweets at night and when you're at a party or whatever. So that's a good tip for any of you guys who are sweet tooth people. And our body runs on glucose, like all 100 trillion cells in our body run on glucose. So your body is craving sugar because you haven't given it enough glucose. Fructose is a good form. Okay, so I think I figured out how it's going to turn out and be okay. I'm not going to put cinnamon because that would be weird with cranberry, I think. But instead of the applesauce, see when you're doing like low fat, you use applesauce instead of oil for baking. I'm going to try the cranberry sauce instead of the applesauce for the moisture and to hold it together. We'll see how it goes. So the reason I opted to do cranberries is because I sent Rob to the Mexican store down the street and they were closed. I was gonna have him get me apples, so it was like cinnamon sugar apple cake. But so we're gonna try it. I put some little dollops of cranberries on top and sprinkled some sugar on top. We'll see how it turns out. I'm gonna make just a small amount of cornbread. I don't have a big mix. I only have enough for 6 to 8 muffins, so 4 people won't get a muffin. Oh well. I'm gonna have dinner rolls and other things. But just want to let you guys know, if you guys are interested, you know, whenever it calls for like an egg in the mix, like it does here, there's something called egg replacer. And I use this when I'm baking, whenever something calls for an egg. I'm gonna steam this head of cauliflower, and I'm gonna sneak some of it into the mashed potatoes to make them a little healthier. And who knows what else I'll sneak some cauliflower into. Maybe the stuffing.
Yeah, it's a little toasty in here.
The key is not using the same cutting board as Rob. I have to keep my vegetable.
Keep your veggies separated from the meats.
Yes. We just talked to his family on his side, video call, since they're all in Minnesota and we're here in California. But we'll be going back to do a road trip to visit them in the summertime. What are you gonna do with that?
Oh yeah.
With that pig butt? What you gonna do with that pig butt?
Well, I figured I'm gonna eat this pig butt.
What'd you put on for seasonings?
It comes with this like honey sauce. It's like a honey basting mix.
Okay.
So I put a coat on it and I pulled it out, and I'm gonna coat it up with another layer and throw a little bit more salt and pepper on it, and throw it back in there, and then it'll be done in like 20 minutes. Actually, it's done now.
I was gonna say,
But-
maybe just put it on warm. We don't overcook it. People won't be here for 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it comes cooked, but if you come over here and look right here, you can see the layers, and it opens it up, and then with the basting, it like goes inside there and gives the guys some good flavor. So.
If you say so. Okay, my cornbread was an epic fail. I don't mind admitting that. Look at it. It did not rise at all. It's just like skinny, cracked, and stuck to the pan. So I do not blame Jiffy cornbread mix. I blame that I didn't look at the expiration, which was apparently 2016. So yeah, we won't be served. He wasn't ready for that move. I just have to show you this epic fail of the cornbread. Look how thin it is. It did not rise at all. Afternoon check-in. Timmy is playing video games. What are you doing raising your arm up? You gonna get me? No, you're not a violent boy. Look at Timothy's pillowcase. Ooh, Christmas gift from someone special, huh? Let's check in with Eli. It's nap time for Eli. He's got to get his rest before Christmas dinner. So I am about to mash up the mashed potatoes, and I just chopped a bunch of garlic to put in the garlic mashed potatoes. And I want to give you guys a little tip. Maybe some of you guys know this, maybe some of you don't. But to make your potatoes have lots of extra flavor, or honestly any vegetables you're cooking, without adding like butter and oil, just add vegetable broth. And then that way, like when you're making mashed potatoes, you don't have to add a lot of butter and cream, which, you know, is not good for your cholesterol. Those of you who are trying to watch your cholesterol. So mash them up with some veggie broth. And like even when you're cooking veggies for your dinners, saute it in vegetable broth rather than oil, and your arteries will thank you. Another thing I'm gonna add to the mashed potatoes is some oat milk to make it creamier. And you can get cashew milk, hemp milk, almond milk, whatever. This, I think oat milk is really rich. Just be careful when you guys are getting the plant milk not to get vanilla flavored when you're putting it in your mashed potatoes or your mac and cheese. I'm not saying I've made that mistake before, But, you know, just warning you in case you might do that. All right, the cauliflower is steaming and it's done. Okay, the key is to chop the cauliflower up in very small pieces before you mix it in with mashed potatoes so nobody knows. Okay, so maybe it's a little noticeable because I didn't get russet potatoes. I got Yukon gold potatoes, so potatoes are gold and the cauliflower is white, but we're still gonna just smash it in there good and don't tell anyone, they won't know. Okay, so I made the garlic mashed potatoes. Now, I think they taste pretty good, but there's a more picky eater here who it happens to be a mashed potato connoisseur. So he will tell me if these are good or not. Look a little drippy right now, but they'll firm up when they're cooked a little longer. Out of 10?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? That's not bad for him.
For me, it just needs a little salt and pepper.
Okay, a little more salt and pepper. I tend to under-season. In my opinion, he over-seasons. But on the mashed potatoes, is there anything that tastes a little different, or is there any, like, does it just taste like normal mashed potatoes? Or can you tell there's any kind of secret ingredient, spice, anything?
Are you leading the witness here?
No, I just was wondering if
you're trying to...
I was wondering if it tastes any different than regular mashed potatoes.
No, not really.
Okay. Told you guys. Told you. You can do it. No one will know. So I'm going to make the sweet potatoes. I'm going to drain them. Then I'm going to put them in the food processor with the S-blade. And then I'm going to add either probably some dates for sweetness and maybe a little brown sugar. And I usually put like cinnamon and nutmeg and a few little like seasonings that you would put in a pumpkin pie. Actually taste really good in sweet potato mash. What are you looking like a deer in headlights for? You're like, she's filming again, isn't she? So I know when you make pumpkin pie, a lot of times it calls for like a lemon peel, cardamom, that kind of stuff. Ginger. I would not put that in sweet potatoes, but cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, yes. Do not ask me for the recipe because I don't measure anything, like, ever. I just guess. And then I try it and like, is this good? Hopefully it's good. And err on the side of caution when putting in spices because you can always add more. What's up, Timmy?
I need my steam money.
You got paid yesterday. You know you only get paid once a week.
I know, but my steam is acting my refund due tonight.
Well, then you're going to have to patiently wait for your refund. You only get your allowance once a week. You spent it yesterday. Okay, so I didn't blend it all to mush. Sometimes I do. And then I put some chunks in here so you can kind of see what it looks like. And it's a little wet, but I put it in the crock pot and it's going to be there for a couple hours. So you got to have it moist so it doesn't get all dried out. So I used brown sugar, dates, cinnamon, nutmeg, and a little bit of clove, and taste test. Rob will not be taste testing the sweet potatoes because he does not like sweet potatoes at all. He likes salty, I like sweet. So, let me see what I think, because that's only who matters. So good. So good. I don't even need dessert. It's all about the sweet potato mash, I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm gonna make green bean casserole, which I know is a tradition for a lot of people, Thanksgiving and or Christmas. I didn't make any Thanksgiving this year. But back where I'm from in Minnesota, people would get the green beans and they would mix in what's called cream of mushroom soup. So since I don't do cream, dairy, I make green bean casserole with fresh mushrooms and green beans. You can use frozen or canned. If you're going to use canned, I would maybe water saute these a little bit first so they're a little more cooked. Chop them up small. But what you use is coconut cream or coconut milk. Depends on how creamy you want it. You can use coconut milk if you want it a little thinner, or coconut cream if you want it thicker. So then you just mix that up with the green beans and the mushrooms and salt and pepper, and then you top it with your crispy onions and green bean casserole. Super easy, vegan. So even though this said coconut milk, it's actually pretty thick cream, which I was not expecting. So you guys can decide how thick or thin you like your stuff. So I'm gonna add this coconut milk, which, as you can see, is what I was expecting from a coconut milk. So I'm gonna make 2 batches. So right now I'm basically making what would be considered the cream of mushroom soup that people put in the green bean casserole.
Okay, here's the Swedish meatballs that I made. They are about ready to go in the oven at 350. I've got about, there's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 out of 2 pounds, 1 pound beef, 1 pound pork, and they're about 2 inches a piece, so a little bit bigger, but I figured they'll shrink and get a little smaller. I'm in our little kitchen here. We're preparing for our Christmas dinner and just put the meatball, the Swedish meatball recipe, Mom, that you gave me, in the oven for 30 minutes for 350.
Hey, it's a rowdy bunch here. It's a rowdy bunch. We'll introduce them later, but I'm going to show you the vegan mac and cheese with soy crumbles. We have got vegan green bean casserole with the crunchy onions. We have got like rosemary pot roast. I know. We have got garlic mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, dinner rolls, Swedish meatballs, ham, and a lovely crowd you'll meet. Don't forget, Sheila made homemade sweet potato pie. Let's show this because this is her specialty.
Every year.
Oh, and we've got Cool Whip, and we've got pecan pie, and vegan chocolate chip cookies, and a black and white cake, and a warm apple pie, and cupcakes, and soda. But she's the only one that brought something homemade, so this is worth.
One thing where
Oh yeah.
place and
Oh yeah.
This is so good.
Thank you, Rob and
So
Katie.
the pot roast turned out good.
Pot roast is awesome. Perfect. Perfect pot roast.
Okay, the Christmas story.
Let's hear it.
Since we're here. This is about the birth of Jesus. So that's what Christmas is to Christians. Christ, más. Más means more in Spanish, so I think of it like more Christ. And at the time, the Roman Emperor Augustus decreed that a census should be taken throughout the Roman Empire. So they all had to go take this census. Mary was 9 months pregnant, and they had to go take the census. So they left their home, and because Joseph was a descendant of King David, he had to go to Bethlehem in Judea, David's ancient home. He traveled from the village of Nazareth in Galilee. He took with him Mary, whom he was engaged to, who was now expecting a child. And they were there. The time came for her baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him in snugly strips of cloth and laid him in a manger because there was no lodging available for them. All the hotels were full up because of the census. Shepherds and angels. That night, there were shepherds staying in the fields nearby and guarding their flocks of sheep. Suddenly, an angel of the Lord appeared among them, and the radiance of the Lord's glory surrounded them. And they were terrified. But the angel assured them, "Do not be afraid," he said. "I bring you good news that will bring great joy to all people. The Savior, yes, the Messiah, the Lord has been born today in Bethlehem, the city of David, and you will recognize him by this sign. You will find a baby wrapped in snugly strips of cloth, lying in a manger." Suddenly, the angel was joined by a vast host of armies of heaven, praising God and saying, "Glory to God highest, and peace on earth to those with whom God is pleased. When the angels returned to heaven, the shepherds said to each other, "Let's go to Bethlehem. Let's see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has told us about." They hurried to the village and they found Mary and Joseph, and there was the baby lying in the manger. After seeing him, the shepherds told everyone what had happened and what the angel had said to them about this child. All who heard the shepherd's story were astonished, but Mary, she kept all these things in her heart and thought about them often. The shepherds went back to their flocks, glorifying and praising God, for they had all heard and seen. It was just as the angel told them. It just goes so much deeper. Mary getting pregnant and her fiance, he was ready to
Divorce her, get rid of her.
yeah, get rid
Kick her
he
to the
didn't
curb.
want to shame her because he loved her, but of course he thought she had been with a man, and so he was making plans to kick her to the curb, but an angel appeared to him during the night and told him that this was a child of God.
No chill.
Yeah, so he stuck by her side, and they got married, and they did not have relations until after baby Jesus was born. And it's so significant because the Old Testament, the Jewish Bible, talks about all these signs that need to come to pass before the Messiah will come, and the Messiah will have to fulfill all of these things. And I don't remember how many, there was at least 30, 60, how many? There was all these things that the Messiah would have to do that was foretold in the Old Testament. And when Jesus came,
For example, they were like, his bones would not be broken.
yeah,
His side would be pierced.
yep,
He
he would be riding on a
would
donkey.
be riding on a donkey. So there was all
So
these.
wait, none of
Where
his
he-
bones were
where he
broken
was-
in the crucifixion?
No.
Right?
No.
They normally break their bones to make sure you
They
don't
break their legs so they
So
can't stand.
even nails piercing through both feet did not break one bone.
So
They do it it's a very specific way that they crucify you.
Yeah.
In the most excruciating pain that you can do. So they put it through a specific nerve in your feet and your hands. So it's very painful.
the crazy thing was, statistically, if someone would have even fulfilled 8 of the Old Testament prophecies, the odds of that happening would be if you took a bunch of silver dollars 2 feet high and filled up the entire state of Texas and just marked one of them with
What the
red,
fuck?
just marked one of them with red,
The
and
entire
you put
state of
the entire state of Texas 2 feet in, and you sent someone in with a blindfold and you gave them one chance to find the red one, that is the statistical probability of Jesus fulfilling even 8 of those prophecies.
amazing.
And I think he fulfilled over 30 of them, and that's how we know.
Fulfilled all of them.
He fulfilled all of them. He
However
fulfilled
many
all of them, however many there were. That's how we know he's the Savior that Isaiah talked about, that Zechariah talked about. That's all through the Old Testament. So that's why we're here today, celebrating
Are you here today?
Savior.
Are you here today?
Hi. I'm trying to get Roy to play charades, but he's not having it.
Well, the old saying goes, hit the road before the road hits you.
I have to say my cranberry cake turned out really good.
And you look so pretty tonight.
Rob wanted to have Christmas, and the reason we have these 3 candles lit is we wanted to do a memorial of our friends that we lost. Darlene, the other one is for Tim, my acting coach that died, and then our good friend Jim. So we lit the candles in remembrance of them, and we spoke a little bit about them. And that was part of Rob wanting to have Christmas with everyone this year was kind of a memorial for our friends as well that we lost in the last year.